Welcome, viewers, to Bodhi Unified Flow. Here, we simplify complexity and amplify performance. Today, we're diving straight into a highly critical topic: career navigation after grade 12 in Tamil Nadu and across India. We're specifically mapping out the highest yield pathways in commerce and finance. You know, the landscape for commerce students isn't just shifting a little bit, it's undergoing a massive structural overhaul for the 2026-2027 academic cycle. The old silos? They're totally falling apart. We're entering this era of hyper-specialization, where mastering the traditional language of business simply isn't enough anymore, not unless you're combining it with the language of the future. In this explainer, we're going to give you a comprehensive transition blueprint to navigate this intensely merit-driven environment with absolute confidence.
So here is our structured agenda for this explainer. 1. Objectives and agenda. 2. Traditional finance, covering CA, CMA, and CS. 3. Elite management via IPM pathways. 4. The modern frontier of fintech. 5. Data analytics in business. And finally, 6. Conclusion and references.
Section 1. Objectives and agenda. Defining your path. Let's get right into it.
When navigating a transition as crucial as the one right after grade 12, absolute clarity is literally your biggest competitive advantage. By the end of this explainer, you're going to walk away with a real actionable transition blueprint. We'll understand the traditional regulatory frameworks of CA, CMA, and CS. We'll navigate the Elite Integrated Program in Management, or IPM pathway. We're also going to identify emerging fintech job clusters and tech integration, and finally synthesize a true portfolio approach for modern finance careers.
Moving on to Section 2, Traditional Finance, CA, CMA, CS, the regulatory pillars. Let's start with the absolute bedrock of Indian corporate governance and financial reporting. We're talking about the big three: CA, CS, and CMA. The Chartered Accountancy, governed by the ICAI, is a rigorous 5-year journey heavily focused on taxation, audit, and corporate finance. It includes a demanding articleship that puts you right into the corporate trenches. Then you've got the Company Secretary, or CS, from the ICSI, taking about 3 to 5 years. This pivots heavily toward corporate law, compliance, and governance. With legal regulations getting much tighter in India, the demand here is incredibly high right now. Finally, there's Cost and Management Accountancy, or CMA, from ICMI, targeting core business operations and cost efficiencies. Now, these aren't your grandfather's certifications anymore. With high-frequency exams and mandatory digital compliance, these qualifications give you the fundamental regulatory language of business, offering incredible stability and respect in the market.
Section 3. Elite Management, IPM Pathways, the High-Velocity Trajectory.
Okay, so beyond traditional accounting, what if you want a high-velocity corporate trajectory right out of high school? This is where the Integrated Program in Management, or IPM, becomes a total game changer. Instead of doing a standard bachelor's degree and then fighting through the brutal CAT exam competition 3 years later against lakhs of applicants, you can take a fast-tracked route at premier institutes like IM Rotech. It's a super clear 3-step process. Step 1, you clear the IPM entrance exam right after 12th grade. This rigorously tests your quant and verbal logic. Step 2, you complete a 3-year BBA foundation phase. And Step 3, it seamlessly culminates in a 2-year MBA from an IIM. It's a unified, elite route that completely removes the anxiety of postgraduate admissions.
Section 4. The Modern Frontier, Fintech, where finance meets technology.
Now we pivot from the traditional language of business to the modern digital economy, and this insight from our sources is absolutely staggering. By 2026, embedded finance will become invisible infrastructure. India is already the world's largest real-time payments ecosystem with UPI. Just think about it. When you buy something on an app and instantly get a microloan offer right at checkout, that's embedded finance in action. It happens seamlessly. The future of this industry isn't just managing money in a vault. It's managing the underlying code and the tech infrastructure that moves that money instantly across the globe.
Because of this massive shift, emerging job clusters are creating sustained, heavy demand. We're looking at roles in embedded finance infrastructure, digital lending environments, and complex payment gateway architecture. The market is practically begging for professionals who understand both strict financial regulations and API technical limits. Recognizing this skills gap, forward-thinking universities are now offering specialized fintech BBA degrees. This allows grade 12 graduates to bypass generic business studies entirely and jump directly into the most profitable, fast-scaling sectors of the economy from day one.
Section 5.
Data analytics in business, the new competitive moat.
This brings us to the new competitive moat for any modern finance professional. Historically, traditional finance roles have been super focused on retrospective reporting. Basic bookkeeping, balancing ledgers, historical auditing, essentially looking in the rearview mirror to see what already happened. But modern data analytics roles, they flip that entirely. They are strictly forward-looking. The absolute focus is on predictive modeling, real-time strategy, and data-driven forecasting. Instead of reviewing a quarterly report to figure out why a company lost money, a data analyst uses predictive models to adjust pricing strategies in real time to prevent the loss in the first place. You literally need to understand the algorithm writing the books, not just the books themselves.
Section 6. Conclusion and references. The strategic synthesis. Let's bring all these distinct pathways together into one unified strategy. How exactly do you navigate this hybrid future? Well, the solution is what our sources call a modern portfolio approach to your education. The days of choosing between just a standard degree or a single professional certification are completely over. Today, you must layer your skills. So build your foundation with a strong university degree or regulatory knowledge, like a CA or CS. That should make up about 40% of your professional profile. Layer that foundation with heavy tech proficiency in data analytics and AI for another 40%. And the final 20%? That should be razor-sharp, market-recognized practical certifications, like the NSC Academy's NCFM modules or a global credential like the CFA. This integrated blend is exactly what captures the premium roles today. To summarize the learning objectives we've achieved today, we have demystified the traditional alphabet soup of Indian regulatory exams, CA, CMA, and CS, which act as your essential regulatory bedrock. We've outlined the elite, fast-tracked management pathways via the IPM programs at the IIMs. And we've charted the hyper-growth tech frontier, showing why fintech and data analytics are essential, future-proof skills. Ultimately, we've provided you with a clear strategic transition blueprint for grade 12 commerce students. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to really challenge your career strategy moving forward. Will you rely solely on the traditional language of business, or will you master the language of the future to secure your place in the modern digital economy? The ecosystem is incredibly ripe with opportunity, but the responsibility to master both rests entirely on you. Finally, here are the core references and sources cited in today's explainer, providing the robust data we've discussed today. Thank you for joining Bodhi Unified Flow. Keep synthesizing, keep strategizing, and as always, keep simplifying complexity to amplify your performance.